Hare Krishna, good morning. I'm very happy to be with you on this most auspicious day of Radhastami, the appearance of Srimati Radharani. That this is a very elevated topic, and I'm not qualified to speak about it, but I will try. First, praying to Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, and all the devotees, so that I can say something that inspires you and helps you to understand the position of Srimati Radharani. Om Ajnanatimandasya Chinanshana Shanaka Saksaran Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Chitchetayamanopistam Stapitam Yena Bhutaleshvam Upakadamyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shio Shiyuda Padkamalam Shigam Vaishnavam Sha Shiyopam Jagachatam Saganaraganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savlutam Parjana Saitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Saganalita Shivshakam Vitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinavano Jatpate Gopesha Kopakanta Radhakanta Namastate Tapta Kansana Gauraki Radhe Vrindavanashwe Vishabhani Sutta Devi Pranamama Haripriya Ancha Kalpta Visha Kripa Sinva Visha Padnam Pavanabhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavina Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Vistaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravanya Pacharani Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paskachani Dasatani Srila Prabhupada Ki. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, we find a lot of information about Srimati Radharani. Who is Srimati Radharani? This is clarified in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Why? Because Lord Chaitanya is in the mood of Srimati Radharani. Therefore, I will start reading a few verses from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Jaya Jaya Chi Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. I'm reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila, chapter 1, verse 5. Radha Krishna Padaya Vikritir Ladini Sakti Asma Ekatma Vam Api Bhuvipura Dea Bitam Katatam Shitanyakyam Pakatam Aduna Tattavyam Sakyam Aptam Radha Bhavadyuti Suvalitam Nama Krishna Svarupam. Translation. The loving affairs of Shri Radha and Krishna are transcendental manifestations of the Lord's internal pleasure potency. Although Radha and Krishna are one in their identity, previously they separated themselves. Now these two transcendental identities have again united in the form of Sri Krishna Chaitanya. I bow down to him who manifested himself with the sentiment and complexion of Srimati Radharani, although he is Krishna himself. To the loving affairs are transcendental manifestations of the Lord's internal potency. So this is further clarified in the 4th chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita. There we find much more information on Srimad Radharani, and I will read some verses from that chapter. Chapter 4 describes the confidential reasons for the Lord's appearance. Text 59. Radhikayena Krishnera Pranaya Vikara Svarupa Sakti Ladini Mamayanara. Srimati Radhika is the transformation of Krishna's love. She is the eternal energy called Ladini. So there we have the identity of Srimati Radharani. That she is she represents Krishna's love, the internal energy Ladini Shakti, that is the energy that gives pleasure to Krishna. That's explained in the next verse, for this is Ladini Shakti. The Ladini energy gives pleasure and nourishes his devotees. So this is further explained in the next verses with beautiful purports, very deep philosophical, but I try to explain the essence of what's mentioned there. We know Krishna has material and spiritual energies. The material energies are described in Bhagavad Gita 7.4. Bhumirapanalavar kaman mudrevsha ankara ityame pina prakatyashrata. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego, Krishna says, that are my separate material energies. He said separate. That and in the next verse, he mentions about the spiritual energy. Aparinamitastvampriyam prakati vidime param Shiva Buddha Mahabharu Chaitam Dayate Jagat. Besides this material energy, he says there is the spiritual energy. And the living entities are these spiritual energies. And they are now fighting or trying to exploit the inferior energy, the material energy. But that's not our business. We should not do that. That is because some energy is inferior, it's not that you have the right to exploit it. That you must know from whom the energies are. That, but of course, we are part and parcels of Krishna, spiritual energy. But Radharani and all their expansions, the gopis, they're in a different category. They are Shakti, they are Krishna's spiritual energy. And Radharani represents the Ladini Shakti, which is a spiritual energy. And the gopis are expansions of that Ladini Shakti. But there are three. Well, first for Krishna, he has his spiritual energies. For him, it is spiritual energies. There is no division. But for our understanding, this spiritual energies is divided in three energies. Sandini, Samvit, and Ladini. And Jiva Goswami explains in the Bhagavad Dharma these three spiritual energies. Srila Jiva Goswami explains that the potencies of the Lord are as follows. The transcendental potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by which he maintains his existence, is called Sandini. Sandini, existence, eternality, Sat, it's all the same. That's one potency, but the transcendental potency by which he knows himself and causes others to know him is called Samvit. Samvit, consciousness, chit, knowledge. So we need that, devotees need that Samvit to know who Krishna is and who we are. And then, but the transcendental potencies by which he possesses transcendental bliss and causes his devotees to have bliss is called Ladini. So that is the third part of his spiritual energy. Is the pleasure potency, the Ananda, the bliss. So Radharani is the personification of the bliss of Vrindavan. And to get that bliss, first we must do what Krishna says. What does he say in Bhagavad Gita? You should surrender. That 1866. Surrender means start following his instructions. This man, Mana, think of him. Bhava Bhakta, become his devotee. Majai, worship him. And Mam Namaskar, offer him respects. So that should be our sadhana, to get in contact with this Ladini. But yes, we have heard Radha Krishna Pranaya Vivektir Ladini, Ladini Saktir Asmat. The loving affairs of Radha and Krishna are transcendental to the transcendental manifestation of the Lord's internal pleasure-giving potency. So in Vrindavan, everyone wants to give, well, devotees in general, but especially in Vrindavan, everyone wants to give pleasure to Krishna. But all this pleasure has to go to Srimati Radharani, not directly, because she's the personification of the bliss. So therefore, all the residents of Vrindavan want to bring Radha and Krishna together. Srila Prabhupada explains that God has different varieties of energies. And he quotes the Svetasvatar Upanishad, I think, Parasya Saktir Vivideva Shriyate Natasya Karyam Karanam Navidyate. That Natasya Karyam Karanam Navidyate. So God has nothing to do. So he has nothing to do personally, Natasya Karyam, because Krishna has 6 opulences in full, nothing that he needs. Why will he have to do something? He has so many assistants. That's in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 13. Sarvata panipatam tat, sarvato panipadas tat. He has got everywhere his hands and legs. Krishna has nothing to do. He is simply engaged in enjoyment with the gopis and Radharani. So Krishna does only that. His expansions do all the rest. So if Krishna is in Mathura and he has to fight and all these things, That's done by Vasudev Krishna. This is expansion. Factory and Narayan expansion. Yeah. But Krishna in his original form remains in Vrindavan, never leaves Vrindavan. So Krishna has unlimited expansions. Advaitam asyudam anadam anantarupam adyam purane purusham. Yeah. So Krishna has so many expansions. When he wants to enjoy, what kind of enjoyment would Krishna want to have? That Shiva Goswami discusses this quite philosophically. He says Krishna is Brahman, Paramatma, and Parabrahman. So these are different realizations of the absolute truth. And the Jnanis, they try to understand the absolute truth by mental speculation, by dint of their knowledge, and they want to realize the absolute truth as an impersonal Brahman. That. Then you have the yogis. The yogis, they are trying to understand absolute truth by meditation, and they realize the absolute truth as Paramatma. Paramatma is situated in the heart. Ishvara sarvabhutnam ritishariyun atistati brahmayam samabhutanam brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Krishna is in the heart and directs the wanderings of all the living entities who are seated as on a machine made, a yantra, made of material energy. Because Pamasamhita says, Anandarastam paramanu syayantarastam govinnamadi purusham tamam bhajam. So Krishna is the Paramatma. That Paramatma is an expansion of Krishna. That and it's an expansion how to understand that in Bhagavad Gita, in the 10th chapter, Krishna explains so many opulences. I think it's 84. We counted them one time, 81 or 84, and something like that. And that says, among the sages, I'm Narada. Among the Detas, I'm Prahlad, and so many. That I'm the fire of digestion. In another place, he says so many things. And these are all these opulences. And he's doing that by one plenary portion of him. The Paramatma is entering the universe. And because he enters this universe with his small portion, the whole cosmic manifestation exists. It says, Ekamshana stito charat. With a spark of my splendor, I maintain the entire universe. So this Paramatma, how he enters, it's a part, it's just a spark of his opulences. So because Krishna enters the universe exists. Otherwise, the universe cannot exist. Without the spirit soul entering the body cannot exist. It's the same principle. Unless Krishna enters the universe, it has no value. Otherwise, it's simply a lump of matter. Yeah. So when the great want to enjoy, what should be the quality of the enjoyment? So therefore, because this first verse that we read from Chaitanya from Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 1, verse 5, this verse was written by Bhakti Swarup Damodar in a note. So Radha and Krishna is not ordinary. These are not material loving affairs. But most people avachanati mamuda. Krishna says, fools cannot understand me. That they take that Krishna is an ordinary man. They do not understand the Parambhavan that it's mentioned in Bhagavad Gita 7.3, Manushyanam Sahasrasya. This verse says, out of millions of persons who try to make their life perfect, only one may know the truth. We see in this world, everyone is working as an animal. There's no perfection of life. Eating, sleeping, mating, defending, like animals, engaged like animals. Searching where there is stool is a business of horse. And when they have eaten, then the question is where there is sex. So modern civilization, Prabhupada said many times, is a horse civilization. This Krishna consciousness movement is for understanding Krishna. And this requires a little labor, austerity, and penance. It requires tapasya. One has to undergo celibacy. Brahmacharya means stopping sex life or controlling sex life. Therefore, Vedic civilization was to train boys to become brahmachari, celibacy. But in modern schools, boys and girls, 10 years, 12 years, they are enjoying. And there's, Prabhupada says in a lecture, their brain is spoiled. That the brain tissues are lost. Without becoming brahmachari, nobody can understand spiritual life. Tapasya brahmacharyana samena sadamena cha. Sama means controlling the senses. Tyagena, sochena, cleanliness, tyag, give charity. These are the processes for understanding oneself, self-realization. But in this age, it is very difficult to undergo all these processes. Practically, it's impossible. Therefore, Lord Krishna has made himself easily available by one process. Harinama, Harinama, Harinameva Kevalam, Kalanasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva Anyata. So in this Kali Yuga, which is the most fallen age, where people have become like animals, people are not interested in understanding the soul. That is the defect of this age. But the human form of life is meant to realizing himself. Who am I? Atata Brahma Jignas. Human life is meant for inquiring about Brahma, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. How to get out of this stress. Only when one approaches Krishna, Narada Muni he can go everywhere he likes, travel all over the universe, can walk to the walls, through the walls, can chant and in the air. Also Durvasa Muni, that's another story. He traveled all over the universe and went even to Vaikuntha, but came back. So how can this perfection be attained? It's by understanding Krishna. So today's Radhastami, we are trying to understand the chief potency of Krishna. That's because everything is done automatically by Krishna's energy. Krishna is the material energy, Bhairanga Sakti is the spiritual energy, Antaranga Sakti, and we are Tatastha Sakti. We are marginal. We can choose to connect with either the spiritual or the material energy just by our desire. But what do we want? We want this ananda, this pleasure. Ananda Maya Pyasat, Vedanta says, the living entity wants pleasure. And it is this spiritual Ladini pleasure, really what we want. And for this, Krishna has become many. So Srimati Radharani also became many expansions, all these gopis. That and because alone you cannot enjoy, you can be self-satisfied, but enjoyment is with in relationship with others. So Krishna's enjoyment is not material. Today we can pray to Srimati Radharani because Radharani is also, Krishna is also called Madan Mohan, the one who attracts everyone. But Srimati Radharani is called Madan Mohan Mohini, the one who even attracts Krishna. I found this interesting. Once Srila Prabhupada asked the devotees, who is God? And the devotees said, Krishna. And Prabhupada said, no. God means Radha Krishna. That Krishna and his energies. So today is the day to pray to Srimati Radharani. And how do we do that? Tapta Kanchana Gauri Radhe Vrindavaneshvara Vrishabhanu Sutadevi Pranamama Hari Priye. So we offer our respectful obeisance to Krishna, the daughter of Vrishabhanu. So if we approach Krishna through Radharani, it becomes easy. So devotional service means trying to please Radharani, and she can give you Krishna. So that is important in Vrindavan, that everyone says Jai Radhe, that they all glorify Radharani because they know without Radharani's mercy, you cannot get Krishna. Srila Prabhupada, when he was on the Aladuta, and before he arrived in Boston, he wrote his 2 poems. One poem was Markini Bhagavad Dharma, and the other was a prayer to the lotus feet of Krishna. And in this prayer of the lotus feet of Krishna, there is a refrain. And in that refrain, there Prabhupada prays. He says, oh my brother, he said, unless you get the mercy, the blessing of Srimati Radharani, your life is wasted. So devotional service in essence means to please Srimati Radharani. She can deliver Krishna. But even Krishna cannot understand Radha's qualities. And that's one of the internal reasons why Lord Chaitanya took the position of Srimati Radharani. And in that position, Lord Chaitanya was always feeling separation from Krishna. And that's the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, how to feel separation from Krishna. The 6 Goswamis, they are always searching after Krishna. They never said we have found Krishna. Although Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, 2 brothers, Sanatana Goswami was the eldest and came first to Krishna consciousness also. That, but they were living very simple as Babaji at Radha Kuntan. They were baking rotis or whatever. But then one day Sanatana Goswami was thinking, I would like to cook a nice meal for Sanatana Goswami. That because that and he was just thinking like that, but he was thinking, I don't have the ingredients. And suddenly, a young girl appeared with all kinds of vegetables and rice and said, my mother has sent you. We had an important religious function at home, and therefore we give this charity. So Sanatana Goswami accepted it, but he saw this girl was very, very beautiful. Never seen such a nice, beautiful girl. And he thanked, and the girl went away, and he cooked a whole meal, offered it to Krishna, and then invited Sanatana Goswami. And Sanatana Goswami said, where did you get all these ingredients to cook that? And then Sanatana Goswami spoke about this girl who brought her. And then Sanatana Goswami said, it's a shame you accepted service from Srimati Radharani. We are there to please Srimati Radharani. That, yeah. So we have this Vipralamba Seva, feeling separation from Krishna, that Lord Chaitanya is teaching. But of course, Rupa Goswami says how to please Srimati Radharani. It starts with Seva Mukhi Jivada, that you start doing seva with the tongue by chanting the holy names of Krishna. So this is the position of Srimati Radharani, and all the pastimes in Vrindavan are permeated, are full of this Ladini Shakti, this bliss. And if we become absorbed in hearing about Krishna and reading Krishna book, we can get certainly a reflection from the bliss if we are nicely absorbed. That, so I said that everyone in Vrindavan wants Radha and Krishna together. Everyone? Not really. That you have a few devotees in Vrindavan, they don't want to get Radha and Krishna together. And their names are Chatila and Kotila. But that is, Prabhupada explained, this is the spice. The spice that they are putting obstacles, because then it becomes, when Radha and Krishna together, it becomes more, more relishable. And Vimal Srimati Radharani is Krishna's Sakti. But externally, she was married with Abhimanyu. And Abhimanyu's mother was Chatila, and her sister was Kotila. So one day, Srimati Radharani was in the house, and Abhimanyu comes out of the house and says to, and he says to Chatila, who is sitting in front of the door, that I'm going to another village today because I have some business there and I'll come back tomorrow. So Abhimanyu leaves. Of course, Krishna, he knows, he's conscious of everything what happens. So he knew that Abhimanyu was gone. So Krishna can expand him as he likes. So he took the form of Abhimanyu. And he went to the house, Srimati Radharani, and in front still Jatila is sitting there, and she sees Krishna in the form of Abhimanyu, but she takes him as her son. And so she says to Krishna, well, you were going to come back tomorrow. Why did you come back earlier? Well, Krishna says, oh mother, I love you so much. So I came back. I can't do that another time. And Krishna went in the house with Radharani. But then the real Abhimanyu decided to come back earlier. So he came back earlier. But when Jatila, who was still before the house, saw Abhimanyu coming, he was thinking, my son is inside. This must be an imposter. And she took a broomstick and started to beat him. and Abhimanyu said, oh, yeah. Abhimanyu was surprised. But yeah, there are so many wonderful pastimes in Vrindavan. And on this day, it's good to read the pastimes of the 10th canto. In the Bhagavatam, in one verse, Srimati Radharani is mentioned by Sutta Goswami. It's called Aradhika. Yeah, I don't remember exactly, but it means that one who has worshipped the Supreme Lord perfectly, Arada. That because Sutta Goswami could not speak out the name of Radharani because he would have swooned internally into ecstasy and his speaking would have been finished. Because Sukadev Goswami is Radharani's parrot. So this is an introduction to the identity of Radharani. So today is a good day to pray for the mercy of Srimati Radharani. Because Srimati Radharani, if she sees that someone else is trying to serve Krishna nicely, she recommends that devotee to Krishna and says, look, Krishna, this devotee is better than me. He serves you so nicely. Please give your mercy. So that is how the system works. We need the mercy of Srimati Radharani. But factually, the spiritual master is the representative of Radharani. If we please the spiritual master, Srimati Radharani will be pleased. So this mercy is going together. So we can pray today to Srimati Radharani that we can please and follow the instructions of our spiritual master and get the mercy of Krishna. Thank you very much. Any comment or question? There are, of course, many other pastimes we could tell, but our time is limited. But, good. Then it's fasting today till noontime. And we can chant some extra rounds today to get the mercy of Srimati Radharani. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Maharaj. Yeah, happy Radhastami.
Happy Radhastami. Hare Krishna. Jai Prabhu.
His Holiness Bhakti Prabhu Maharaj ki jai.
Hare
Hare
Bol.
Krishna.